There we go. Hello, and welcome to Table Flippin' Board Games.
Hey guys, welcome to Table Flipping Board Games. I am Gillyweed, one of the hosts. Joining me are the other two hosts. We have Ogre Yonder and Gameface Killa, and our guest this week, Defebbar. She's back, so excited to have her here, and I'll
Yay!
tell you why I'm excited to have her here. Number one, because Defebbar is amazing. Number
Okay.
two,
Stop.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah. But
Do go
continue, but
on.
please stop, really. No, number two is that we are about to witness another side to Gilly, and that is the tilted Gilly for the next few hours. So Defebor is here to keep things light when I get really angry, which will be
A pillar of
frequent.
salt.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
C,
How did you get that thing off my stream so fast? That was like
Oh.
magic.
Yeah, magic. You're welcome.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, that's crazy. Custom little thing on there. All right.
You get to be all fancy this time.
Yeah.
Fancy. So yes, C, because we're going to be playing Tragedy Looper. Many a times you've heard us talk about Tragedy Looper, and finally, because I opened my big mouth last week and suggested a time travel,
It is kind of your fault.
yeah,
Yeah.
time travel segment where we do several time travel games. It's here. The Tragedy Looper has shown up. Gabe, why don't you let us know more about this game?
all right. Well, this is Tragedy Looper. I don't want to color anybody's opinion of this game, but I love this game.
Too
a
late.
lot.
Even though it's already in color.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually designed by Bakafire, which is this guy in Japan who's like crazy apparently. Because this is a board game that is unlike any game I've ever seen before. It was published by Z-Man Games in 2011. It plays with anywhere between 2 to 4 players. You need at least two. You can have up to four, and most Board Game Geek players think that it operates best with four, and I tend to agree with that. It has a rating of 7.5 and a rank of 396. And this game that we're about to play is a bluffing game, and then there's also deduction, which is my favorite thing about it. It's totally logic based. There's almost no probability at all. It's a murder mystery, and of course, it's got time travel, which is awesome. You three are playing tragedy loopers, who are you're called the protagonists, and you are going up against me. I'm the mastermind, and the mastermind kind of knows everything that's going on, and he's like the puppet master trying to cause some kind of tragedy to happen, and you have no idea what the tragedy is. But your job is to at some point during your time traveling, your job is to figure out what kind of tragedy you're involved with and stop it. So the devices that you have that cause your time traveling could be a strange wristwatch, or a weird phone application that your scientist grandfather developed, or a magical diary. I'm just reading out of the rule book. You don't know what it is that gives you the ability, but you have the power and you're using it. But every once in a while, there'll be a tragedy that you'll get involved with where you become deeply involved because there seems to be someone behind it who's pulling the strings and trying to cause them to actually happen. And even though you make changes, eventually they still happen. So you know that there's someone behind it who's working against you. But then you also realize that there are other people who time travel and try to fix things too. So that's the three of you. You've kind of discovered each other. And so you have to keep going back and work as a team in order to help you figure things out. Uh, let's see. Basically, the board that you see here has 4 locations on it: the hospital, the shrine, the city, and the school. And there are characters that are represented by cards that are on this location. And you, as the players, the protagonists, you actually don't have any figure or anything that represents you on the board, but neither do I. We just try to manipulate these characters, so it's sort of like we're in the shadows trying to talk to them and influence them in some ways. But basically, we'll be manipulating them with our action cards that are in our hands. We'll be trying to issue them goodwill tokens, or you guys will be trying to issue them goodwill tokens. I'll be trying to put paranoia on them, and intrigue, and then based on what happens and where they move around, certain things might trigger. Um, so if the tragedy happens, which is a mystery, I know what it is, but you don't know what it is. Your job is to use logic in order to figure out what it is. On the side of the board, there are counters that track certain things. So this counter here is the day marker, and it tracks what day we're currently on. There are 4 days in a loop.
Okay.
Um, The second tracker triggers incidents, and if you look here, there are 2 knife tokens, and the first incident happens on day 2. It's a murder, and the second incident is a suicide. Those are possible events that could happen that could trigger the tragedy, or they could be used as a distraction to distract you guys from figuring out what the real tragedy is. But they're there sort of to help me kind of obfuscate things. You do have a total of 3 loops. The counter is on the 3rd loop space. So if you get through the 4 days and you fail somehow before you reach the 4th day, then we bring the loop marker down 1, and you have 2 loops left, and then 1, and then if you get a tragedy on the last loop, then the game's over and you lose. If you can make it through all 4 days
Mm-hmm.
without the tragedy happening, which means that you guys have to actively work to try to make it to make me not be able to make it happen, then you win the game. And that can happen on any of the loops from this first one to all the way to the very last loop. If you can succeed in stopping the tragedy at any time, you win the game.
Okay.
And that's the counter track. There's also at the bottom here a summary of the phases of the game. But those are pretty. We'll kind of go through those in a second. They're pretty easy to understand.
Like incidents happen.
Exactly.
Helpful.
Nice.
So that's the board. There's actually, if you notice, let's see, I already said that you can stop the tragedy. If the tragedy does happen, and it can happen at any time, and there's multiple ways it can happen, then we reset everything and go back to day 1, and then the loop marker goes down 1. So
Okay.
everything resets back to the beginning, and all the tokens are removed. And then we all try and go again. You guys use the knowledge that you have to try to figure out what happened the last time and stop it from happening again. Plus, figure out what everybody's doing and what's causing the tragedy. Let's see. Basically, the characters all have a role in this tragedy. So, like, say for instance, the doctor, he's going to only play one role in the entire game, and he's always going to be that role. So he will do certain things throughout the game, and you might start to get an idea of what kind of actions he's doing. And based on that, you can logically deduce which role you think he might be playing. If you look at your reference sheet, I know it seems really complicated, the gray reference sheet.
It might be a little big.
This is the part that's a little intimidating, but it breaks down pretty easily.
Needlessly complicated.
It breaks down. So in the top left-hand corner, you have the plots. You see there's main plot section and subplot section. So the tragedy is going to be the main plot. And so, for example, if it's Light of the Avenger, it tells you the name of the possible plot, plus it tells you all the characters that are involved. So in the Light of the Avenger, if you notice, there's just one brain. And on the right-hand side, it tells you what's going to happen to make the loop lose. Which is if there's 2 intrigue in the brain starting location. So on the board, if that's the tragedy, somebody is going to be the brain, and if he causes 2 intrigue to get on his location, then that ends the loop and causes the tragedy to happen.
Okay.
So your job is watching the players or the characters that are on the board, seeing what they do, and figuring out, well, this person, for example, has to be the brain because they just did a certain action that fits that only the brain can do. And if you look below the plots, there are a list of roles, and if the person is the brain, then they can place intrigue on the location or a character in this location. So if you notice somebody's putting intrigue down on the location or on a character at that location, then it's probably a brain, or it could be a brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can narrow down who he is, you could possibly manipulate him and get him out of that room with a movement card, or make someone else move up there with him and take the intrigue off or something like that.
Okay.
Is that the face of this game is already confusing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I think
Just-
you'll be.
I like
Don't
where this is
worry.
going.
Into it.
Don't worry, buddy, because it's the same. Like, you're not out of the loop. It's get it out of the loop. It's just this game. Don't.
All right.
Please.
So besides the main plot, there's one main plot, there's one subplot, and the subplot is just there to kind of distract, but it's also there in order for me to possibly set up a tragedy. So if I want to help my Light of the Avenger brain guy get his tragedy happening, I could use, for example, if I was on the Hideous script, I could use some elements and characters from the Hideous script in order to possibly get intrigue. Or if I had an unsettling rumor, I can place intrigue with that. So they kind of help me out, and they also distract you guys a little bit. But if you can figure out what the subplot is or what the main plot is, you'll have a pretty good clue. So like the Light of Avenger, if you figure out it's that, then you know there's only one main character, the brain. And if you can figure out how to stop him, that's really all you have to focus on the whole time for 4 days, and then you win the game.
So the subplot is just a distraction.
And it can also help me set up the tragedy.
Right, right. But the main plot's the only thing that can cause a tragedy.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
Wait,
got it.
what?
So the main plot is the only thing that's going to cause the tragedy that's going to end your loop or end the game if you lose all
But
Mhm.
you
your
could
loot.
use elements of the subplot to make that happen.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But we don't have to figure like we could win the game without knowing who the conspiracy theorist is, the serial killer, whatever.
Exactly.
We don't have to
Yeah.
know that.
Right.
Okay. So the only question I have so far on the murder plan, like the loss
Mhm.
condition on the other two is stated right there. The murder plan
Right.
is not. So what's the deal there?
So if you look down at the roles, which is the next table below that, that tells you the roles. So you'll notice that the murder plan has a killer, and a key person,
Mm-hmm.
and a brain. And so if you look down at the key person, if this character ever dies, the protagonist lose and the loop ends immediately.
Ah.
So the main plot is that there's somebody who needs protecting because there's a killer out to get them and a brain who's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And if that character dies, then you lose the loop. If I can cause that to happen 4 times or 3 times, then I win the game. If you can stop it even 1 time, then
Then
you
we
win the
win.
game.
So on this one, okay, this one seems like it'd be pretty easy, right? Because if any time the loop ends before the 4th round, then we know that that's what the plot
Right.
is.
Right.
So
And you will,
and we'll know who it is, right? We know who
right.
the
Well,
okay,
what you'll know is I'll say something like, "Oh, the doctor has just died and the
and the
loop has
loop is
ended."
ended.
Right. And so
Okay,
you'll
all
know,
right.
oh, because that happened at the end of the if because this character dies and it ends the loop, they might be a
Mm-hmm.
key person, or maybe you'll have to look at the tables, maybe something
To
else
figure out.
causes that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, the actions I won't necessarily tell you who's doing the actions, but I will tell you the action, and then you'll be able to use that to kind of narrow down what it could be.
So okay. All right. So hold on. The friend, the loss
Uh-huh.
condition. So okay, the loss condition on the other ones makes sense because loss condition loop end, 2
Right.
intrigue in the brain starting location for the Light of the Avenger means that you lose at the end of the loop, right?
Right. Right. Well,
So
you
the
lose even if we haven't gotten to the 4th day. That'll happen at the end of the day.
wait, then
So
why does
let's
it say
say
loss condition loop end?
so that means that we automatically, as soon as there's 2 intrigue in the starting location wherever the brain is,
Mm-hmm.
if there are ever 2 intrigue there and the brain is there, it automatically ends even if we're like on day 1 or day 2.
Oh, so its loss condition means end the loop.
Right.
And the
And we
loss
start
condition
over.
is the 2 intrigue. And okay, so loss
Right.
condition. So on the friend, the loss condition to end the loop is if the character is dead. So if the
Right.
friend is dead, reveal its role and end the loop is what it's trying to say.
Right.
Okay, all right. This could
Yeah.
use a little copy editing, but so far I'm
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. Yeah. And so the key thing to remember is everybody is only playing one role, so there's only going to be one. For example, there is a conspiracy theorist, right? Because
Hmm.
there is one in every subplot, so there has to be one
There has to be
somewhere.
one, right?
Right. And so there is always going to be one person who's the conspiracy theorist. There'll never be anything else. And as soon as you
Okay.
figure out who that is, then you know they're not, for example, one of the people that's involved with the main plot,
Okay.
but they could help trigger it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You
I
guys ready
love
to do
that.
this?
I love that. I don't know what to do box.
Yeah.
Because that's basically my
Wait.
feeling toward this entire game. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So there's one other thing, but it really doesn't happen until day 2. So we'll go ahead and just play through one round, and then I'll kind of explain what happens on day 2 with these incidents I was telling you about, the murder and the suicide.
Hmm.
Because it won't happen unless we get to day 2. So once we get there, then I'll
All
tell
right,
you
then we'll
guys
talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, by the way, on the side, the characters, it lists what like we can do goodwill,
Right.
and having goodwill with characters might help us figure out like who they are or what the plot is.
Mhm.
And so it tells you what you can do with them. Like you just look up what the character is, like boy student, girl student. There's like doctor somewhere and stuff.
One thing to keep in mind though, and I didn't play this right when Gilly and I played the first time. If you'll notice on the rolls, there is a goodwill refusal column. It is possible that if you were trying to figure out if someone is, for example, the brain, I could refuse you to be able to figure that out. So
Hmm.
you could say, I'm going to use this guy's ability to figure out if this guy is the brain, and I can say that that has no effect. But the cool thing about that is you will know automatically that the role that that person is one of those four roles where I can refuse, right? So it
So,
helps you narrow down.
What are the roles that
yeah,
you can
where's the goodwill
refuse?
refusal?
So if you look at
Oh,
killer,
I see.
Oh, it's
I
a
can
whole column there.
right,
Okay, so killer is optional, brains optional, cultist
right,
mandatory is refusal. So that, in other words, it will always have no effect on the cultist.
right.
All right.
And
Okay.
the cool
Got it.
thing is, like Gilly said, though, is that that's what you guys are trying to do is build up goodwill on certain characters because they
Hmm.
can do things like reveal roles or remove paranoia or intrigue. So there's cool things that you can do if you build up those goodwill tokens on them. And the little hearts tell you how many goodwill tokens you have to build up to activate that ability
Okay.
on the character.
So, only question here: what is the one times infinity?
Oh, so the one times infinity means, are you talking about on the
On
Shrine
the
Girl?
well, on yeah, on like it's in a bunch of places. Like there's goodwill 5 one times infinity, and then on the like the
Oh, that
shrine girl as
means
well.
so
There's
that's a loop. So that means you can only play it
Oh.
once per loop. You
oh,
can
the
only use
infinity
that
is a
for
loop.
right. You can only
Oh,
One
that's a
times
loop.
infinity. It's like a kid's game. Yeah, well, infinity times infinity. So there you go.
right.
Got it. Okay, so you can only use the Goodwill 5 ability once per loop.
Right. Right.
Again, copy editing. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, that is a serious problem.
let's use the once only.
Yeah.
All right.
Um, so we'll go. So the first part of the day is the morning, obviously. If there are
All right.
any abilities that I can trigger at this point, I would, but there aren't any. So I'm just going
Okay.
to skip that part. And now we go to the mastermind action. So what I'm going to do in this step is I'm going to play 3 cards out of my hand, and if you guys at any time want to know what kind of cards I have as options, if you look in the middle, kind of lower section, it shows you what
Mhm.
all my mastermind cards are. So I can either move characters vertically, horizontally, or diagonally.
Mhm.
I can add paranoia, take paranoia away. I can forbid you from putting paranoia on, which sometimes you guys need to. I can forbid goodwill, which means you guys can't play those tokens.
At all or on a
And
specific person?
just on a person because I have to play it
Okay.
on a person.
Oh, I see.
And I can put intrigue +1 on either a location or a person, and I can put intrigue +2 once per loop.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put my
So while you're starting that up,
yeah,
I want to tell the stream that the one other time I played this was the same story. So I'm mostly going to be quiet and letting Defebwar and Ogre call the shots of what we do.
We
Because
got
like
this.
at first I didn't think I would, and then the minute I started looking at the sheet and all the characters, I was like, I remember everything. So I'm gonna let you guys just go ahead.
okay.
The
So
repressed memories came back.
Yeah, it's exactly.
don't forget to flip your card upside down before you pull it out of your hand. Otherwise, I'll be able to see it. But it doesn't really matter because I have to play my cards before you guys.
Wait, is this our
So
hand?
are we
Yeah,
not specific
Okay.
characters?
you are, and
No.
oh, not on the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're just going to influence characters on the board with 1 card from your hand here. As soon as I play
Okay.
my
Mm.
3.
So we get to see what your is this like an everybody plays and then everybody reveals?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we play 1 card.
Right.
But we don't play him yet.
Right.
Wait, you only play one, Gabe?
Right. Each one of you plays 1. I play 3.
Okay, so
So
he's
we
played
technically
one.
play the same amount. Yeah, I've
Oh,
got
I
to
see.
play.
Mastermind plays cards, protagonists play cards, cards are result. Okay.
Right.
I see. So let's
Figure out
see.
what
So remember, he can play movement cards, intrigue cards, and
Hmm.
paranoia cards.
Okay. Well,
Those types of cards that he puts down, like if it's intrigue or paranoia,
so
I
let's see.
think
So he put this down?
that means, Gabe, isn't it that like if you put down intrigue or paranoia, is it just intrigue that it gives a clue as to the role of people?
Yeah, see if you look on the right-hand column with the plot rules or the character or the role
Hmm.
rules,
Yeah.
yeah, me placing intrigue can give you a clue as to what I'm trying to do, possibly.
So it's just intrigue.
Well, also
you can't-
paranoia.
You can't place intrigue unless there's someone of that role that allows you to place intrigue there, right?
Right. Those will be actions that I'll do with the characters later on.
Wait, so you can't
Oh.
place intrigue with. Hold on, you can place intrigue with a card though, right? Mastermind
Yeah, I
card,
can
intrigue
place
plus
it.
2.
Yeah, I can either place it on a character or on a location.
Okay, so
I see.
basically so right now this point is when you're putting down intrigue from yourself.
Right.
And
exactly.
then there's another phase where you can put intrigue down, and that's what
Exactly.
explains to us what the roles are.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys
Sorry, that's
named
even a better
Mhm.
way of explaining.
why I'm
Okay,
why this
so right now this card is on the student.
Right.
It's not on the school.
Right.
Okay.
And what's the phase where they get to play their cards or
Right
whatever?
after I finish playing.
hmm So he
Okay.
hasn't actually. So he's only played one card so far, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait, do we
okay.
know what it is?
No, because
No.
he's gonna
Oh.
play 3, then we're gonna play 3, and then reveal them all at the same time. So ours are going to be played secretly.
Oh, so this is not a collaboration game, or is
It will be, but after he plays his.
The
So like we
three
have
of
to wait for
us-
him to play them, and then the 3 of us will
Oh, I see.
collaborate.
Three of
Okay.
us are collaborating, and Gabe is the enemy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Dun dun.
Okay, I gotta play one more, but I don't know what to play.
Dun dun.
Okay, so I played my 3 on the doctor, the office worker, and the girl student.
So
now
these
it's
are
your
the
turn.
only 6 characters we have to worry about.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, and
'Cause
someone
that
is.
list looked really long.
Yeah.
Let's-
Does someone want to be the leader?
Sure, why not?
Sure, there you go.
Okay.
So you play first.
There's only one. Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. There's only one character that can place intrigue on a location. So does that mean that how does Game Face actually put intrigue onto a location?
So after you play your cards, you guys
Mhm.
play your 3 cards, then we reveal them all and have the effects happen, then we take all our cards back, and then I have the option of using any character's ability based on their role, their secret role. So
Based on their
that's when, like, for
secret-
example,
Oh, their secret role, not their character thing. Okay.
Right.
So then the secret role can actually.
add intrigue or paranoia.
I see.
So what I'll say is, like, for example, I'll say, all of a sudden, this guy just feels really paranoid, and he gets a token on him. And then based on that, you can say, how did that happen? It could be
Got it.
that someone else put it on him. Yeah.
Okay.
So the bad guy is one of these 6 characters.
Well,
I must sound
the
like an
potential
idiot.
bad
No,
guy.
it's
No,
you're
it's
fine.
the potential bad guy is one of these 6 characters if there is a bad guy, because there's 3 different plots that could be happening down. Well, I
Well,
guess
but
on my
they're
screen right here.
all. I mean,
There's a killer in one, a brain in another, and a cultist in another. I guess is
I
the way
guess,
to look
but
at
all of those, any one of those would cause the loop to end, and that is the loss condition for us. So in Deb's case, yes, there is a bad
Mhm.
guy that will be one of these people.
Okay.
It's just trying to figure out who they are, but it's also finding out who they are and what the plot is,
Okay.
because we have to stop the plot in order to win the game.
So we don't know which one of these it is.
Right. We just know
Right.
that it's one of those 3. And
Right.
so like figuring out what the roles of the different people are will help us be able to figure out what the plot is. And once we know what that is, then we can try to make sure and stop that plot.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
So, I'd say we should throw some goodwill on the office worker, if we can, just so that because he'll reveal his role if we can.
Throw
So-
goodwill on him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw. We can talk about this,
Oh,
right, Game Face?
Yes, you can. I will say that only one protagonist can play on a character, so there can only
So
be one
it's-
protagonist card per character.
Oh, so it stacks. Okay. Or so
Yeah.
it doesn't stack. Okay. So, but
So
then
the
how do
max
we
is
ever
2,
get to-
one from you, one from me?
then
I have
how?
a question. What happens if he plays a card and you're moving a character?
It still gets something on it.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, I have another question then. How do you ever get to 3 or 4 or 5 goodwill?
On day 2, we play cards all over again.
But you take them back.
Right, you take the cards back, but if you put, for example, goodwill tokens on somebody, the
Oh,
goodwill
there's actual
tokens
tokens that
stay.
come out?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right. So I'm going to play,
So we
I'm
would, for
goodwilling.
example, put this on this guy.
Gotcha.
But
Okay,
we
so
don't
I'm
do it
goodwilling
just
this
yet.
guy.
Okay.
Right,
Right.
right.
So, but that's what I'm doing, guys.
Okay.
Deb, what do you feel like doing?
I don't know enough to know what I need to be doing. Is the problem.
I understand.
So if you want, you can look at the abilities on the bottoms of the character cards and see if any of them look like they seem like would be good abilities. Or if you want, you can use a movement card. There's also ones that forbid paranoia. Like if you think I'm trying to build up paranoia or intrigue on someone, you can forbid me putting intrigue on somebody. Or paranoia, I think, right? You guys have a forbid paranoia or a paranoia -1 or something like that.
Okay.
And it's always good to build up goodwill because if you can keep the day going without the loop ending, then um, obviously you'll build up and maybe be able to do multiple abilities.
And
Okay,
the
so
police
then-
officer might be a good one to build up goodwill
Yeah,
on.
use as an interrupt to prevent a death that has just happened in this location.
Yeah, or reveal a culprit. So that's good.
Yeah.
I'd say if you can, just throw goodwill on him.
Throw goodwill on him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can do that.
So, yeah.
Wait, do I have to flip it over first?
I mean,
yeah, but it doesn't matter because I can't play anything to.
he can't
counter.
respond to it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Boop. Just gonna do
But
that.
technically, yeah, you might want to play it upside down, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like this is the problem is you're gonna know because we have to talk.
Right,
Well-
but since I have to play first, that's okay, right? Because you guys can wait and talk until after I play.
But you can still use the abilities of the people, right?
Right, but I'll get to know what you guys put as cards. We flip them
Oh,
over before I
right,
use
okay.
abilities anyway. Yeah,
So we might as well just play face up
that's true.
because,
That's true.
yeah.
You could.
So what do you guys want me to do?
Um,
Why do these look different?
I think because we're
Uh,
each different.
We each
Yeah, because
there's
each
like
of you
a
have a
different
different
deck.
time machine.
Oh.
You have a diary as your
Mhm.
time machine, and he has a clock or a watch.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's what it is. That's cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So are these the only cards I get for the whole game?
Yes, but
But you
these
get
will
them
go back to your hand.
Oh. I was like,
They're-
oh.
They're like actions, except they're just given to you as cards, I think.
Right. Right.
Oh.
But you notice these ones are the ones that you can only use once per loop. But that's all right.
Oh yeah, the +2s.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, because it says one times
Yeah.
the
1 times infinity.
Oh, okay. One infinity later. Okay.
So what do you guys think? Are you concerned about him like putting intrigue down? Are you concerned about him moving people?
Not concerned about anything right now.
Yeah, I have no
Blissfully
idea what
ignorant.
to be concerned about.
So then
Yeah,
what do
it's
you want me to do?
It's much like a lot of time
I
travel games where sometimes it's good just to watch what happens the first time and then.
I can't do anything because I know way too much. So I need you to make my decision.
Mess with this stuff. Move the girl student up to the shrine for no particular reason.
Okay?
I don't know. I don't know, apparently he wants to do
we're just,
something.
like, segregating all the girls in one room.
Yep,
Alright.
we're putting them all in the shrine.
All right. Banish to the shrine.
Okay, but I want you to be serious. What do you want me to do?
Can you banish her to the shrine, please?
Yeah, that sounds
Why?
fine to me. I don't know.
I don't know.
What is she? Remove one paranoia from any other student in this location.
Well,
he
he's not
hasn't
gonna get
started paranoia.
He's
so
not
we
going to
don't-
get any.
We don't need to worry about her then, right?
Well, but he played a card on her, and like she's gonna, if she gets moved up here, then this card is gonna play on her up here, and depending on
what
what
is the
her,
point of that?
hold on, depending on what her role is, let's see. So, hold on. If her role is same
Who is she?
location as the last 2 intrigue, or 2 intrigue person dies, 4 intrigue protagonist die, intrigue on the. Yeah. Okay. So, well, okay. If this is a place to protect, then 2 intrigue in the school is going to end the game or end the loop, which means that if he played a card that's on her that's going to cause her to produce intrigue or something like that, or he needs her to produce intrigue, then she needs to be in the school in order to do that.
And what if it's not a place to protect?
Then to intrigue in the brain's starting location, if she's the brain and her starting location is the school, then she's not going to be in the school anymore. So she still can't do that.
Okay. And
See where I'm going with
So
this?
that's Light of the Avenger. Okay. But what about Murder Plan?
What about Murder Plan? We can't cover every single thing with one move,
Okay.
right?
I don't see any plot roles for Murder Plan. I don't understand.
It's
So there is always a key person, a killer, and a brain. And if the key person, as their role, dies, the loop ends immediately.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if we get her out of the room with the male schoolboy, then okay, see, here's the problem. If we leave her alone with the boy and she's a serial killer, then she can murder him because there's only one other person in the room, right? That's
Right.
the way that works.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't can't we move the schoolboy up to hang out with Shrine Maiden?
Yeah, we can do that. You want to move him out?
Because then she's alone and like we can,
That's true.
yeah.
Okay, so you want me to put it on him?
Move him up.
Okay.
Conversely, if the office worker is a serial killer, the police officer's dead. So rip that guy.
I guess since she's the one who has the card, if it is the
Well, I'm looking at it.
Oh, better idea. Move
what?
him
What's
over
up?
to the city because then there are 3 people there, right?
Yeah.
Does
What about
work?
that?
Because it has to be exactly
Okay.
one other person to do serial murder killer thing.
Wait, does it?
Yes.
Hold on. The killer.
The serial killer thing. I
Wait,
think.
serial killer. Exactly one other character in the location. Oh, Snapskis. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So just move him over to the city.
All right. Yeah, boy students going to the city.
All right.
Okay. Cool. All right.
That was
so-
easy.
Yeah. So we'll just start with the hospital. So the first action, I played Paranoia +1 on the doctor. So the doctor's feeling a little paranoid. By the way, the only thing you have to worry about with paranoid is you notice on the top left it says paranoia limit and then has a number that you can barely read. So if he gets to 2, then he's reached his paranoia limit, which I'll tell you about later. But right now he's only at 1, so it's not a big deal. Okay. So then you guys played Goodwill 2 on this, and that's a once per game, so I'll just or once per loop, so I'll put that down here, and then you get 2 Goodwill on the policeman. And then you get another 2 Goodwill on the office worker.
Oh yeah. Those stay down there.
And then
I got it.
Nail it.
So.
And then I put a paranoia on him.
Ah.
So he's feeling a little paranoid too. And then this goes back to my hand. And then you moved the boy student horizontally. So now there's 3 people there.
It's going to
And
the
then
big city.
whoever played that gets that back. And then I played vertical movement on the girl student. So she moves up there.
Oh man, we almost did the exact same thing.
All right, so
Dang it! If we had moved in
The Shrine Maiden is rip the Shrine Maiden.
okay. So
if she's a serial killer.
So now is the time when I can do abilities on the characters if I want to, like, say, put paranoia or intrigue. I think I'm gonna skip that. I'm not gonna do any abilities this day.
Okay.
So now, if you guys had enough goodwill built up on any character, then you would be able to activate any abilities on them.
But we don't yet.
Right. So then we go to the end of the day, and at this time, if anything happens, I have to announce it, which that the girl student is killed.
Oh, wow. Look at that, Lou.
Wait, the girl
No.
student dies?
That
Yep.
means the shrine
And
maiden is
so-
the serial
snap.
killer.
Sets.
And the day
Woo!
resets.
Okay. So wait, does that mean that all these little like tokens go away?
Yeah.
No,
Wait, but
the tokens
the plot is still the same,
No,
right? So
No,
we
actually,
know-
the tokens go away when a loop ends. So we start over completely with the day with
Bye, Goodwill
day-
tokens.
But that's good. At least we know what the plot is.
Yeah. I feel like we know almost everything now, right? Like the Shrine Maiden is the killer. Or she's some sort of killer.
What?
Although
What is she?
Well,
Number
she's either the serial killer because if there's exactly
the
one of the
killer.
character location.
Look at the killer and what they need to be able to kill somebody.
Yeah, look at the serial killer.
I know. I'm telling you that you already have the answer. So look at the killer and you can tell which one Shrine Maiden is.
Wait.
Key person in same location has at least 2 intrigue. Key person dies. This
She did not have
character
any intrigue on
has
her.
4 intrigue. Yeah, so
She's the serial killer, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, I thought you were saying that she was either the serial killer or the
No,
killer.
I
I'm
was saying she
no.
was the serial killer.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we know the subplot. We don't know the actual plot.
Right.
So no, we know the plot.
No.
Main plot, murder plan. If the key person dies.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait, so hold on.
So we know the main
There's
plot
two.
and the subplot?
We don't know the
There's-
subplot.
No. Well, we know
Well, 'cause
no, we
there
know the
is a
subplot
serial
because there is
killer.
a serial killer. So it's the Shadow of the Ripper.
Okay.
So, however, we don't know whether it's murder plan or a place to protect because in both cases there's a key person that ends the that'll end the loop.
Oh, this only says lost condition loop. Oh, because there's a key
Because
person.
there's a key person
Right.
in both, right?
Yeah.
No, there's no key. Oh, there is a key.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
is. There's a key person in
Oh,
both.
poop.
So
Okay.
it's one of those two, which means that we could have another lost condition, which if it's a place to protect, which is to intrigue in the school.
Okay.
So we have to figure out if we can figure out whether we have a cultist or a brain, then we can figure out if we have murder plan or a place to protect.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
This is pretty much where we were before when I
Mhm.
played.
So
Okay.
wait, we allowed to write down stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, if you want.
I think
All
you're
right.
supposed to be able to write down on this thing, right?
It's not exactly what I've seen people do is that they laminate them and then you can, but it's kind of just a flimsy magazine paper style thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, you could mark on it all you want. You could use the markers or write down notes.
I just want to make sure we know that the Shrine Maiden's the serial killer. Never
Mhm.
forget. 2016.
And that the girl student is the key person.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing I want to tell you guys. You notice on the top right there are the 4 locations. I don't know if it's easy to tell, but on the top right of every character card, there's 4 locations. The one that's kind of whitish is
Mhm.
their starting location. So that tells you where they have to start. And then if you see a box with an X in it, that means they can't go to that location. So for example, the Shrine Maiden can never go to the city. The office worker can never go to the school.
Okay.
So you can use that knowledge to your advantage
So
too.
the girl student can wander around wherever she wants.
Right.
Okay.
And so can the doctor and the boy student and the cop.
Okay.
The only person who can't go to the hospital is the alien. I really want to see what the alien looks like.
Yeah, she's
We don't
actually
know
a
what to do with
Japanese
you.
Girl, if you can believe it.
Yeah, it's got. I mean, it's got girl hair, so that's interesting.
Oh yeah, the
Hair.
board
That
also
doesn't
tells
mean
you
anything. Long
can't
hair
go to that
doesn't mean girl.
location.
Forbidden
Okay,
for
so
the
we're back
alien.
at day 1.
Okay.
Second loop.
Okay.
So now we're back to I've got to play 3 cards and I just forgot that.
Wait, I thought something
So-
else happened on the second loop.
No, we just basically start back to the same, right back where we started at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
You can text me if you're thinking of something else.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
what
sure.
you said at the beginning of the game. You said if we get to the second loop, I'll talk about it there.
Oh no, I meant the second day. We haven't
Oh,
gotten to the
okay.
second day yet. Yeah.
Oh, right. We died on the
So we're-
first day, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ripskis.
that's all
That's
right though. We got
Happened to
we
me
got,
too.
We got good things figured out.
We only get 3 loops though.
Oh,
But you guys did figure out a huge. Well, I'm not saying you're right. I shouldn't say that. That was dumb. But whatever. Shut up. So all right. So I'm playing my cards.
so we can't ever leave the schoolgirl alone, and we can't leave anyone alone with the Shrine Maiden.
Right, because the Shrine Maiden's just going to
We
snipe
can
people.
leave anybody alone with her except the schoolgirl for everything to continue. But we need to try to make sure that there's not too intrigue in the school at any point, and that there is.
And the Shrine Maiden stays alive. Or it's Shrine Maiden. The girl student stays alive, right?
Yeah, but there also is the potential that there's another person that can kill if it's murder plan. So we need to make sure there's not too intrigue in the school, and that
Mhm.
if she's in the same spot as if she is in a location that has 2 intrigue and someone else there, it could be likely that there is a second killer. because that's part of the murder plan. There's a
Or
killer
somebody with 4 intrigue.
You mean
right.
4-inch?
The other one is protagonists die if this character has 4 intrigue. So if one character builds up 4 intrigue, or a location builds up 2 intrigue, you need to be watching out for it.
Okay. So really, we just need to watch out for stacks of intrigue, for people to be by themselves, for everything to happen. And now remember that he knows that we're key person. We know who the key person is. So this could be like a paranoia or something. So we need to be careful about like being like, oh, we'll just also put a movement up, down. He doesn't have to play the same cards. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. So but he's played his cards. So let's see. So, okay, if the Shrine Maiden's the killer, oh, that's pretty handy. The Shrine Maiden can't go to the city, so if we move the girl student to the city, then she's going to be safe. No? Yes?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's another movement sideways, then it would just put her back at the school because, and she's not moving. Shrine Maiden has nothing on her.
Oh, so by the way, if you look at the bottom of your movement card, it tells you what happens if we play like one person plays vertical, one person plays horizontal.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you go diagonally instead?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, just to let you guys know.
Interesting.
There's also just forbid movement.
Right.
Well, okay. So he can play intrigue on people? That's one of the cards? Or no?
Uh-huh.
That is one of the cards. And we can't take it away? Oh, forbid intrigue. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we don't... We what? Don't want 2 in the school?
Right.
Yeah, but she doesn't... Oh, I see.
We can't give intrigue,
play them on a location. I don't think you guys can play intrigue. I think I'm the only one who can't. But you can forbid it.
So our issue with the school is it has to be in the school. Does it count if it's on the person in the school?
No, it only counts if I put it on the location. So technically, you know, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
because he's playing it on a player.
It's on the girl,
right.
Or on a character.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so he's not playing it on any location. So we're gonna at least make it to the second day here, because as long as we do something to make the girl student not move, whether it's a forbid movement or a movement left, like a side to side movement, then she's going to survive this round.
What if you played diagonal and we put side to side? It's gonna put her in the shrine.
Wait, is it?
If we
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, then let's just play forbid movement.
Well, we could just forbid it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could either forbid movement or we move the boy student up with the Shrine Maiden.
Oh right, but then he dies, and
who cares?
I don't know. Maybe he's handy. You want us to make
he's handsy.
You want to make a sacrifice to the Shrine Maiden?
I mean, it doesn't really matter because we could just put it's one card either way. So just put it on the we can put forbid movement, but if this boy is the killer, then we're still in a problem where she's in the same location as that. But forbid movement's fine.
Okay, let's feed everybody to the Shrine Maiden and then just keep the girl student alive. Just one by one. We'll just feed them all in.
Wait, there's gonna be a suicide, by the way.
That's the Oh.
Wait.
Yeah, so
but
do you want me to tell you about the incidents?
Yeah.
What happens there?
Okay. So on day 2, if we get to day 2, there is a person that has been determined ahead of time called the culprit. And that culprit is going to murder someone on day 2, possibly. I have to set that up for that to happen. How that happens is whoever is the culprit, the killer, like let's say it's the Shrine Maiden, if I build up 2 paranoia on her to her limit, and then I get her in the same space with someone I want to kill, then on day 2, when the incidents happen, I can make that murder happen, but only during that window. and
So in other
only if I
words-
build her limit up.
So in other words, there are potentially three different ways that you can kill our key person right now. Maybe even four if suicide is a factor. Correct? Because there's a serial killer, there's a killer, there's the potential for this crap,
The murderer.
the murder,
Well, we don't
with
know
paranoia.
there's a killer, right?
potential. That's why I'm saying there's the potential.
Oh, okay.
So a
Oh.
serial killer, potentially a killer, potentially you kill her because you can kill her, right? With the paranoia.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
there's also the potential that you can just build up paranoia enough for her or something to kill herself with the suicide.
Your logic is sound. If she's the culprit of the suicide, then I can build her paranoia up and make her kill herself on day 3.
So there you go,
Um,
guys. 4 different ways.
Do
that
we
Sweet.
can
know
use our
if
key person.
there's no paranoia times 3 card, is there though? It's
No.
only up to 2,
No.
right?
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, so we know that he can't do that in one turn. So we don't have to worry about
Mhm.
that yet. We really just have to worry, and we don't have a card on the Shrine Maiden, so she's not going to be able to murder somebody on day 2 because she doesn't have enough paranoia.
He put paranoia on the office worker and the doctor last time.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so here's what we do. We move the Shrine Maiden to kill the Doctor. Because he's playing a card on the Doctor, which probably isn't good for us. So we kill the Doctor with the Shrine Maiden. And then
Okay.
we play
movement
forbid
on her?
movement on the girl student, and forbid intrigue on the office worker. Or not forbid intrigue, paranoia -1 on the office worker. Because his paranoia limit's only 2, so if he gets higher, then he's going to not do well.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you want to do? So do you want to worry about building this guy up, or are we just all going to damage control?
I think let's damage control.
Got it.
Oh,
Just
guys,
see what
sorry, I
happens.
forgot. You get these cards back
Oh yeah.
Oh,
right.
because the loop.
because the
sorry.
loop was over. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, so I have paranoia -1. Does that work?
I got forbid
Uh,
movement.
Okay, you got forbid movement, paranoia -1. Okay, and I'm gonna move the Shrine Maiden over here. Okay, I think this is
On
it.
lock.
Let's do it. All right, Game Face, what are we doing?
All right, so I guess we'll start at the hospital.
Wait. Okay, yeah.
I'm moving him down.
All right, so he moves down.
Oh, wait though.
Yeah, what order
if-
does this resolve
if
in?
it, okay, well, we can do it in any order.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think the mastermind kind of determines. But so a horizontal and a vertical makes him move diagonally, right?
Wait,
pretty
no,
Wait, there weren't
he's
2 things on.
there weren't 2
him.
things on
No,
him. There's
you'll
only
see
one thing on
something on
him.
the Shrine Maiden.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
this is the
sorry.
Shrine
I
Maiden's
was
movement.
spacing out. Yeah, you're right. So he does just move down. Okay, sorry. Okay, and so the Shrine Maiden, you moved her, so you get this card back.
All right.
And then you guys played Paranoia -1, which is a good play because I played Paranoia +1.
Okay, so
So
I
that
don't get this back though because it's a
Right.
time looping
Mhm.
thing. All right.
And then you forbid movement.
Hi, Laura Lania.
I put a Paranoia on her.
Okay. So she now has 1 extra paranoia.
All right.
Wait,
so
did you try to move? What happened?
I
Hmm?
moved the doctor down.
You
Okay.
moved the Doctor
Shrine
down.
Maiden over. We canceled Paranoia here.
Okay, so you were trying to put paranoia
Mhm.
on him?
Yeah, on the
Right.
office worker.
Okay.
And you guys forbid movement, but I put a Paranoia on her.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so now I get to decide if I'm going to use my abilities.
Uh-oh. So we have to worry about girl student's paranoia then later because he can play a +2
And make her
next turn
suicide.
and make her
Make her turn.
suicide on day
Right,
3.
so we're probably gonna have to anti-paranoia that,
Good, yeah, with that.
which is fine.
What
But he
happens
might
if
try to
we
move her.
What happens if we play a -2?
We don't have any -2s. At least I don't.
Oh.
Paranoia -2.
All we have to do is
Okay, all of a sudden, I'm doing one ability. All of a
Okay.
sudden,
Hmm.
the office worker is getting extremely paranoid. He gets a token.
No.
so somebody
Alright.
there can give paranoia. So now we need to look at our rolls again.
Okay, so
Okay.
optional day end. Mastermind ability. Place 1 intrigue on this location or character in this location.
No,
So
it wasn't. It wasn't intrigue. It was paranoia.
Place 1 paranoia on
Oh,
character in
paranoia.
this location.
Conspiracy theorist.
conspiracy
in there.
theorist.
So we know
Okay.
we have a conspiracy theorist, which is every
Well, Shadow of the Ripper. Yeah.
Yay.
Hooray.
Thanks,
Okay.
Gabe, for giving us nothing. That's really cool of you. You're really fantastic when we play this game. Not miss anything.
Okay, but
Sorry.
all right.
It's
So can people be more than one thing?
No, they can only be one
Mm-mm.
role. They
Okay.
can. Okay, so they can. I guess I should say they could be a culprit for an incident and another role.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
for instance, like for the murder in the next day,
Right.
the police officer could be both a conspiracy theorist and that murderer.
How?
Right.
Oh, and the incidents are okay. So the incidents that are
Yeah,
going to happen are
this
murder and
this like
suicide, and
stuff
that's
is
it.
what tilted
Okay.
me. This like murder and suicide, that's what tilted me into not finishing this game last
I
time.
see.
Because like understanding that crap along with a plot and a subplot is like so ridiculous.
This just goes to show
I
you,
got it.
like, anime plots are just fucking ridiculous sometimes.
So crazy.
So
Yeah.
do we think that the doctor is the conspiracy theorist since this paranoia giving didn't happen last time? Or do we think it's the police officer because Gabe chose not to do it last time?
I'm thinking. Okay, so here's my current theory. Working theory,
Mhm.
guys.
Okay.
Office worker is the murderer. The doctor is the conspiracy theorist because he keeps trying to put paranoia on the office worker, and on day 2, the office worker becomes a murderer.
Oh, you mean
So
the culprit? You gotta you're
well,
talking
the
about
culprit.
culprit for
Yeah,
the
Okay.
the culprit for the murder, aka murderer.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
No, but there is also a killer, Carl.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm trying to
Okay.
get this straight.
So he's the culprit for the first incident.
Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking that's my theory is he's the culprit for the first incident, and
Mhm.
so he's trying to paranoiafy the office worker.
Okay.
Oh, but the culprit. Oh, okay. So
Which is
for the
then
first
so
incident.
which he
Oh,
could
so the
right.
culprit is just what you call anyone related to whatever the incident is.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
There's
the
culprit for
it's the person
murder
who
and there's
does the
culprit
Because
for
a
incident.
suicide is
the
like the culprit
culprit
dies.
for
I was like,
suicide.
what?
Yeah.
We could just wait and then they will kill themselves.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, because the thing is the murder, so the culprit for the murder can kill any character in their location. It doesn't have to be alone like the serial killer does. So if the office worker gets paranoid enough, then the girl student will just die. As long as they're on the same location.
Right. So we have to keep the girl student away from all three of those people because we don't
Mostly
know who
just
it
the
is
office
yet.
worker.
No, just the office worker because he's the one who has the
The
paranoia.
office worker and the shrine maiden. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So far so good,
But
guys.
it's already day 2, right?
It is
will
now.
be
It
after.
will be.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah.
you guys didn't have any goodwill abilities you could do, and so
Right.
now it's the end of the day. If any events triggered, like when the
Like-
girl student died, but there are no events that trigger. So now we go to day 2.
So then we're gonna have another set of cards.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
this was day 1.
abilities.
Okay,
And all
'cause
he
it's
needs is one more paranoia from all of that.
Okay.
So we have to get him away from
Mhm.
yeah.
Away from girly over here. Okay, so he gets to place his cards, and we're going to see what happens.
What a mess.
This is so
What a
good.
Just looking at my
Dumb
blank face on
game.
the screen, just like,
Like anytime, Deb, that you go, okay, so, and then there's this like blank space.
Yeah.
That is, I'm just like, girl, I've been there. I know exactly that feel because
Okay, so
like
do
sitting
I.
there, we were in a hotel room. Gabe's trying to explain that. Poor Gabe, by the way, trying to explain this game, trying to explain this to me and my mom, who does not really play board games, and I'm just like.
Flip everything over.
Yeah, I don't know if I can count on one hand the amount of times I've wanted to flip games. This has definitely been one of them.
I've actually thought about flipping the game like 3 times during the instructions. I was like,
Yes.
can't do that, but it would be funny.
It's just like
Hold on.
you're like, okay, there's a plot, got it, rolls. Subplot, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, with you still, and then you get to like the incidents,
Wait.
and I'm just like, nope, I'm out. I've checked out.
Okay.
What you doing, Mastermind?
We have to worry about our little Girl Scout over here. Well, that's interesting.
Wait. I keep changing my mind.
Girl Scout. All we want to do is keep this one girl alive. Why do you care about killing her so much, Gabe? Why are you so heartless?
I like to see pain in the
So
world.
how long do we have to keep her alive?
For 4 days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But at
Basically
least we won't
forever.
have to deal with the murder after this day, but we'll still have to deal with the suicide, the idea of the serial killer and a potential killer. But so far, no intrigue really at all has been done. It's way more focused on paranoia and the serial killer. So that's at least nice.
Okay.
Okay, so I played my cards.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Sylvanora. Oh god.
So, all right. So he played one on the police
I would
officer,
lol
Mhm.
card.
which is, and he has
Damn
3.
it, I should have done it.
Okay, wait. I want to look at what roles we have left that we don't have. We know the key person. We
Mhm.
know.
We know the key person. We know the conspiracy theorist, probably.
Well, we know the conspiracy theorist is one of those 3 people in that room, right?
Right.
Can they
yeah.
put the paranoia on
Well,
themselves?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
so that's
we can't
really
even rule out the office worker because
no.
maybe he's also the culprit and he wants to be paranoid so he can go kill somebody.
Oh, he'd be a culprit in an incident and have a role.
Yes, Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the kicker.
Well, all
Okay,
right. So yeah, so he
so-
could be the conspiracy theorist then. I'm betting not because Gameface wasted a move on the doctor to move him down there.
Yeah, I'm also
Like,
thinking that the doctor is the
he can
conspiracy
only play 3
theorist.
cards. He probably wouldn't play a card on the doctor
maybe he
just to distract us. But
didn't want the. Well, he didn't know we were going to move the Shrine Maiden. And.
mhm.
Okay,
Well,
so
I mean,
he
that's true.
wouldn't.
Probably had a good idea that we were going to move Shrine Maiden. And like not try to mess with moving because he was also placing stuff on her. So I think that
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that she has the potential to be the suicide victim.
I think so.
And that I think you're pretty right, Carl, on him being the culprit for the murder.
Mhm.
But
I'm
what would
gonna
the police officer be then? So what do we have left then? We know that there is going to be
if he could be the cultist if this is a place to protect, or he could be the brain or the killer if this is murder plan.
okay, because we know that there was a conspiracy theorist and we think that it's Doctor. We know there's a
Mhm.
serial killer. So that it has to be Shadow of the Ripper. We know that there is the key person. We know who that is. And so, yeah, we're down to either killer and brain or cultist. So,
So hold on. So the brain has intrigue, and there was a paranoia that he placed, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so he hasn't placed any intrigue, so we don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So, however, do you know what we can do now?
What?
We can kill the doctor. We can remove him from the equation. We can kill the doctor.
Okay. Move the Doctor up there.
All right, let's do that.
What do you
We-
think, Deb? You like that?
I am worried that he's going to put paranoia on the office worker, move the girl over to the city,
Mm-hmm. And then kill.
and then kill her.
Yeah.
And she already has paranoia, so not only do we have to worry about
Well, so there's 2 things that
giving
he could
her
be.
2 extra paranoia, but also blocking her movement.
So there's 2 things that could be happening here. Actually, I guess 3 things, right? So okay, so hold on, bear with me here,
Why
right?
don't we
So
also move the office worker?
because of this. So if the office worker, okay, let me back up to what I was going to say before.
Okay.
The girl student could move left, in which case the office worker, if he's got a paranoia, will kill her on the end of this round, right? The girl
Yeah.
student could move diagonally, in which case she moves to the hospital and the Shrine Maiden kills her. However, if we move the doctor up there, then the Shrine Maiden doesn't kill her, and she's fine. The girl student could have a +2 intrigue, in which case she will kill herself on day 3, but we don't have to worry about that. So I'm betting this isn't a +2 intrigue because Gameface knows that we could counter that. Because next round we could
But
just give it
isn't
give it
there-
-1, right?
Isn't
No,
there
you can't
something
take away
else
from
they
what's
can
already
do?
there.
Isn't there
Hmm?
something else they can you
The
can
only
do
thing you
with her
said that
full
was-
paranoia?
The only thing you said that wasn't true, Carl, is that
Mhm.
yes, I do have a +2 intrigue card, but it takes paranoia to get someone to their paranoia limit.
Yeah,
It's
to commit a
oh,
suicide,
sorry.
it takes
Not
paranoia.
oh, and you
Right.
don't have a +2 paranoia card.
Right.
Oh, you have a +2 intrigue card. Okay, so in that case, I'm getting intrigue and paranoia confused. So in that case, this can't be +2. This could only be +1, which means that we can prevent it next turn if this is what a paranoia, or if this is a paranoia. So it's probably a movement. Sorry, I'm moving your card.
It's all right.
So it's probably a movement, which means
It's
that
no, it's either
if we place a -1 intrigue, or which one is it? -1 paranoia on this guy, then he can't commit a murder, right?
no, because you can't take it away.
Why can't you
Do
take it
you have
away?
a +2 paranoia card, Gabe?
I do have. No, I don't.
No.
It's +1 only?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
And
look
then
at
we have a -1 paranoia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but didn't we
your
already
reference
use
card
it?
has a list of my cards
Mhm.
right there,
I
Gilly.
know, but there are
That's
so
okay,
many
okay.
freaking things to look on at this
I
thing.
know. I'm just saying if you want to look at it, some.
So you have 2 of those
I-
paranoia cards.
I
Right.
only have a +1 paranoia left, so I can't take away any more paranoia because I took away one already.
Wait, don't we get those cards back?
Mine
Next
is a
loop.
loop one.
Next loop.
Oh, okay, well that's fine. We'll be fine because we have 2 of those left.
So
So,
okay, so he could, if we're right, if the doctor is the guy who gives paranoia, then by moving him off and killing him, he can't give paranoia to the office worker.
yes, he can. He already did. Oh, I see what
He can't
you're
give
saying.
any
That's not
more.
until the next
The
So-
free one.
Which means if we cancel this one, if we cancel this paranoia right here, then the
Okay.
office worker will not get paranoid and will not commit murder.
Okay. So,
So-
I can use my card for that.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So paranoia +1 is what I'm using.
actually, so hold on, is murder optional? Murder.
So if you mean.
Yeah, is murder.
Actually, I do have to kill. It says one other character in the culprit's location dies. It seems like that's mandatory.
Oh,
But
sick.
I also
Okay.
have to meet the condition of being at my paranoia limit.
Right. Okay. Give him a paranoia +1. Make him
Oh, wait,
murder
I
the
did
police
+1.
officer. Yeah, no, make him murder the police officer.
Why?
Because then we have fewer characters to deal with. All that matters is that the girl student survives. So
Well, I guess
Kill-
that's true.
have the office worker kill the police officer. If he's
What
not
if
the
he
murderer,
moves?
if he moves, then let's see. Oh, if he moves over here,
Yes.
then yeah, the girl student dies. But I'm willing to risk that
Why?
because I don't think that he's gonna move.
Wait, we don't. Fuck.
Because
Okay,
what?
well, we
what
know
if the
the
idea?
doctor's gonna be in the
Yeah.
hospital, right? So we could force move the schoolgirl, but we just don't know what. Okay, so why don't we
Well, so
make sure there's no way she could go to the city if
this
we play a movement on her?
So the issue is this is probably a move left or a diagonal.
No, it's either a move. It's for sure either a move or paranoia. Because if she can commit suicide, he might be building up to that.
Right.
Knowing that we're
but-
wasting all of our time trying to figure out how to keep her away from the 2 murderers.
Right. But we already went through the fact that we can prevent that next turn.
Okay.
So this is
There's a move diagonal
if
card.
this is yeah. If
yeah,
this
you see on my mastermind cards, I have a move diagonal.
Then all we need to do
Oh.
is stop movement then. Is that correct?
so okay, so yeah, that's
well, I have
what
a
I was thinking
forbidden,
is
and I could-
if this is a
Stop
so
movement.
if we forbid her movement, then she stays here. The situation in which this is bad is if we play paranoia +1 and this is a move or move horizontal. If this is a move horizontal, then he's the killer, then he will kill the student and the loop will be over. So, however, if this isn't a move diagonal, if this is actually a paranoia +1, which I think it is, then what's going to happen is he's definitely going to reach his limit, right? Oh, but hold on. If he played paranoia +1 and tried to move her over here, then we don't need to play a paranoia +1. So we actually need to forbid his movement too. And then we can move him
Why
up
don't
here,
we
he
just
dies, and he
remove-
dies, and then
Carl, why don't we just remove paranoia -1 on him? I don't understand this weird thing that you're saying.
because if we kill more other people who are not part of winning the game, then he has fewer tools to work
We can't
with.
kill the doctor and kill
The police
officer in one turn.
Why not?
Because we don't have enough stop movements to prevent either the office worker potentially moving or the girl potentially moving. Like, what if one of them moves to a
Why not?
place
We have two stop movements and a movement.
We've already used 2 cards. We only have 3 cards.
Wait, no. I'm saying take away. Hold on. I'm saying take away paranoia +1. Take that away.
Okay,
then
can
he's not
you
gonna
listen
kill
to
anybody,
what
right?
Deb is saying? We have 3 forbidden movements for 4 days. For
Right.
4 days, we've already used 1. So we need to figure out how. Like, we need to be better about using them than just like throwing them all out there. I don't want this like risky weird plan that's betting on what Gabe is doing. If there is a much simpler way to ensure that we don't lose her this turn.
Okay, and how do we do that?
We move the doctor up and then we reduce his paranoia by 1.
Reduce the office worker's paranoia by 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then what do we do with the girl student?
We forbid her movement, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so if we forbid her movement, and this is a move, then he moves over. Then he moves over here.
Hers is paranoia. If she is the suicide girl, then she needs to have a paranoia this day and then tomorrow to be able to kill herself, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we just need to make sure that we save a -1 paranoia for her in case she's going to kill herself.
Which we still have 1 of if we use 1 here, right? Did we? Because we used 1
Do we? Because I don't
if
have
this,
1. You guys both have 1?
If this is a move,
I'm not getting mine back.
Yeah, I have a -1.
If this is a move and this guy is the give paranoia guy, then she's suiciding next turn, and we can't stop it.
And what guy is the give paranoia?
The office worker. If the office worker moves over here, or the police officer is the give paranoia guy and he moves over here, then she's suiciding next turn and we can't prevent it.
Okay. So what do you want to
Then how about we don't move the doctor? Move one of the other guys with a card on him. Because they're actually doing something. Why don't we can't we kill the office worker instead?
What if we moved the office worker up and he was a killer? Would he and the Shrine Maiden kill each other?
So the Shrine Maiden, the serial killer doesn't kill until the end of the day. Whereas the office worker, the incident would have to happen first.
Hell!
If he is
in the order.
Move him up!
Okay.
Yeah, because regardless of what we do with him, he's not going to get to the school.
I'm not saying you're right about the role. I'm just saying you're
if
right
he were
about
the murderer, then he would murder
be
the
order it
maiden.
would happen. Right.
Okay, he would murder the maiden. Okay, we
then
could do that.
After that, the murder's done, no matter how paranoid he is. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can move him up.
Okay.
And
we have accomplished 1 of our 3 things.
Well, honestly, I think that's a much better use of the cards. Before we were spending like all 3 cards on maybe preventing one thing from happening.
And the girl student should probably get -1 paranoia, right?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
But then, are we okay with?
Well, the police officer is going to come over here.
You know what? Should be. The only thing that concerns me now is if he put a diagonal move onto her, then what's his face?
The office worker can kill her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we can move the Shrine Maiden. We can move the Shrine Maiden back to the shrine.
The Shrine Maiden's not the problem.
The office worker, because he gets to choose who the office worker gets to kill. And that, so he would just choose, obviously, not to kill the Shrine Maiden, need to kill our Girl Scout.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying we could move. Oh, I see.
We can reduce.
Because we're already putting him up to the hospital, and she's gonna.
Okay, so here's the deal. He can't forbid movement, so it's not gonna. This isn't a forbid movement, right? This dude's going. Unless
he's going somewhere.
He's going somewhere, right?
Yeah.
He's just not going to the school.
Well, he might go to the school if he put a move diagonal in there.
No, he's forbidden.
He can't go. Yeah, you're right. He can't go to the school.
Wait, he can't go in the school?
Yeah, because he's an office worker.
So the only concern was her moving, not him. So why don't we just forbid her movement?
So why don't we move the police officer up? Because that's more risky. Because he can go to the school, right?
Yeah, he can go to the school.
I like
So we can move the police officer up and
I
kill
like
kill
the
him.
idea. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Because then she's safe in
And then
she's safe in this school, and we can forbid her movement.
Okay.
well, we get okay. So move the police officer up. So that guarantees. Well, it doesn't guarantee that we have anyone in the hospital because he
Mhm.
has a card on him. So now we have to. We can prevent the girl from moving again, though.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
a forbid movement on her is.
All right, I'll throw a wait. This is my movement. I still have a forbid movement I can throw, but
So Deb, can you use your forbid movement?
Yeah.
all right.
Because I've already used mine. So we're gonna move the police officer up.
And then what else are we doing?
Okay, so we're moving him up.
Okay.
She's not moving, but may get a paranoia. I could give goodwill to him and remove a
Mhm.
paranoia from her. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
you could double goodwill her or goodwill
'Cause
him.
isn't that?
Mhm.
Aren't we pretty confident that we're okay now with
I
everything?
think
Because he
so.
can't
Yeah.
move in there to kill her.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Good God, that was only day 2.
All right. Okay, so I was moving, but now I'm not. So that goes over here.
Ooh, good job, guys.
He gets 2 goodwill. And so that goes over here. The office worker is moving vertically.
Dang, she's not gonna kill anybody then.
Nope.
Poop.
Rip.
But he might kill someone still, depending on if the police officer. Well,
Nope.
actually, I don't think Gabe would do that.
Oh, wait. The movement I played on her was diagonal, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The student? I forgot to set this out. So that's a once per loop. Okay. So then the last thing is that he's moving vertical and horizontal, so diagonal.
So
Okay.
someone is dying.
Office
No,
worker
nobody's
is dead.
dying.
Rip.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, no, he
Office
is.
worker is totes rip.
Is this your card, Ogre?
Yes.
Okay.
No, don't,
All
you
right.
don't put it back. You put it in this.
Wait,
No,
the
it's
movement
not
vertical?
a once per.
Yeah.
It's not a
no.
once per loop.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
how do you
has
know
the
what's
thing
once
on
per
it.
loop?
It's got
it
a
has this little
infinity symbol.
Oh,
on
so
it.
then shouldn't she get paranoia -1 back?
No, it's got that.
No, it
No, 'cause
has
it's got a
that.
loop
See,
thing
it has
on it.
that blue
Oh,
clock
this
on it.
got it.
Yeah.
This game, man.
Okay. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use any of my abilities, and then obviously you guys have one goodwill ability if you want to.
We do.
Let's see.
Oh, so we have to throw away the goodwill points?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Since
but
We
we
s-
get
we
rid of
spend them
paranoia.
to
No,
get rid of.
they actually stay until
Oh.
the loop is over.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
So you
but we
can
get
do
to
it
get rid of
multiple
this
times.
still, right?
Right.
Oh, we can do it
but
multiple times. Oh,
Right,
so
but
it's
you have
like
to
a
wait till the next day.
okay.
to
So it's
do
like
the
a
second-
built-up ability, though.
Right.
That's interesting. Cool.
Okay. Well, office workers rip.
That has to happen. Wait, does it have to happen or no? Like, is she compulsive serial killer, or do you control her?
Mandatory day end.
think so.
Exactly one other character. That character dies.
Oh, bam!
So, but he can still
Fortunately,
use an ability if this character has an ability, or I guess if she has her role has an ability, he can still use it.
Right. He could be the conspiracy theorist.
So I'm not doing any abilities,
Okay.
and you guys did your goodwill ability.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, he dies.
Guys, we made it past day 2. We have good job.
Rip worker.
So
All right, now we don't have to worry about a killer. We just have to worry about a suicide,
we do.
Oh.
which we don't really because
don't.
the girl's not committing
Well, yeah,
suicide
you can't get +3
Yeah.
in one turn.
So-
Probably.
So, unless are there any other people who can give her? Only the conspiracy theorist can give 1 paranoia. We think that might be the doctor,
Mhm.
but that's still just 1 plus the 1 that he gives.
Could be the dead office worker.
Could be the dead office worker. True. He also could be. We don't have a cultist, right? Oh, we might have a cultist.
We might have a cultist. We still don't know which of the murder plan or a place to protect it
How
is.
funny would it be if the boy student was a cultist? Like, Recruit them young.
What does the cultist do?
He puts intrigue on locations or characters. So, like, there's still the possibility, right, that we lose because there's too intrigue in the school.
Mhm.
Oh.
You know,
How
we
much
can
intrigue can you put out?
wait. No, he can't be.
Oh,
The cultist can't be the or the boy student can't be the cultist because
Why?
he has goodwill refusal mandatory. So we wouldn't have been able to put goodwill on him if he were the cultist.
Oh, okay.
well, no, he
Oh.
just, I can refuse. I have a mandatory refusal of his ability. So you wouldn't have been able
Oh,
to
I
take
see.
the paranoia off of her. But
Okay.
you're right. I would have had to have done that.
Oh, so,
Oh,
okay. So
okay.
we know that the student isn't the cultist. So even
Right.
Right.
if we do have a cultist, so
Right.
that means he could be the brain or the killer if we have a killer.
Hmm.
This makes my head hurt.
So all we have to do though to win is protect Girl Scout. We don't actually have to figure out who is who.
Right. We just have to
Well,
protect her.
protect a Girl Scout and make sure there's not a buildup of intrigue on the school.
Hmm.
Okay.
Which so far there won't be because he's not the cultist and she's not the cultist.
But do we know that the intrigue on the school is actually the thing that we're doing?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We're
But we'd
just
have to
chancing
prevent
it.
both anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But so far we're good because neither of these two can put intrigue on the school. So
Mhm.
we're set unless other people start moving in there.
Game face.
So the police officer, Game Face put a move on him and we put a move on him, right? So
Yeah.
the move that
Mhm.
he put was to bring him over to the school, right?
So he might
Right.
have been the killer.
He might have either been the killer or the cultist or a person who tries to give paranoia.
Hmm.
Because we don't know if he's the conspiracy theorist or if it's the doctor.
Yeah. Or the dead guy.
Or the dead guy. But now we
It's
don't have to worry
very
about the dead
important.
guy. But we
Yeah.
still, these guys.
But we
So-
might not have to deal with one of these things. But we'll never know. Or maybe we will. In the next loop.
If this guy is the killer, he needs intrigue to be able to kill her. He can't
Mhm.
just do it.
And Game face has +2 intrigue.
Okay.
So, which is not paranoia, but intrigue.
If a key person has to have
Mhm.
the
So-
intrigue.
So the key person gets the intrigue,
Okay.
like this.
Uh-oh.
We're pretty set now, though, that she can't die by suicide, right? So we can start. We don't have to focus on paranoia for her anymore. We can focus more on the movement aspect still, and then intrigue now.
Right.
Is this all canon? It's better than canon.
Okay, so we know that no one's moving diagonally because the diagonal card has been played.
Right.
Mhm.
Good point.
So unless we double up on like horizontal, vertical again.
Is that on the location?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh snap!
So that's intrigue, right?
Okay.
It's
I don't
gotta.
know.
What
It
else?
could
I
be.
can't. Okay, so I can place a paranoia card on a location, but it won't do anything.
Okay.
So he can just distract us. In which case, so this is bad because if 2 intrigue ends up on the school, which he has a +2 intrigue, then the loop ends.
Right.
So we got to do something about that.
How
do.
do we do something about that? Oh, forbid intrigue?
I think
I
we
have
can.
one of those.
Okay.
Well, I don't have a stop movement, so I should probably be the one to use that, I guess. Whoop.
All right.
But here's
Wait.
the thing. So if he's trying to get the schoolgirl and the killer into the same spot, well, it doesn't matter because he doesn't have a movement on the shrine or the doctor. So we really don't have to worry about them moving anywhere because she can only kill somebody if she's the only other one in the room with them.
Hmm.
And then we don't have to worry about the suicide because no one has enough paranoia yet.
Right.
So I guess that's a null point. We don't have to worry about the cards that are on either one of them.
Right, because she can't move diagonally in.
Right.
So the
Right.
most she could do is
Diagonally.
move over to the shrine or down to the city.
Well, she can't.
Wait,
and
she
she
can't
can't move
move
to the
there is
city.
So she's
there's a
moving-
person in
So she's
either
moving
one.
over here to the shrine
She's moving to the shrine.
to kill the police
Right, 'cause
officer.
She can't go to the city. Okay.
Is she trying to kill the police officer?
I don't
well,
know.
she's going to.
That's what
'cause
she's
we're not
going
gonna
to
do
do.
anything about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sounds good to me.
Noted.
what?
Okay.
Then I don't think there's anything else we really need to do besides prevent intrigue.
So I want to point out something from Forbid Intrigue, and that's if 2 or more players have played Forbid Intrigue on the same day, no matter where on the playing field, they nullify each other. So how many intrigue cards do you have, Game Face?
I believe I have
2.
one. Oh,
Wait.
I thought you were saying +2 intrigue.
Oh, sorry, you have intrigue +2, and then you have an
and then I
intrigue
do have
+1.
an intrigue +1. Yes.
So we can't play Forbid Intrigue on both her and the location.
Right.
So we have to choose between them.
And the purpose behind that card also is because normally when you play this game, you're not allowed to talk during the loop. You can only talk between loops.
Oh. I was
Yeah.
wondering about that.
Yeah. But this
Okay,
is
so we're
beginner
playing it
game,
on.
So they
Yeah.
actually do say on the beginner game, let everybody talk because it's
Yes,
hard enough
please.
to learn how to play.
There's no way.
You have to basically just like be the best of friends forever and
Yeah.
just know what the other person like play the beginner game 20,000 times with somebody
Yeah.
and then know exactly what they want to
Mhm.
Well,
do.
you could always say, if we need to forbid intrigue, I should be the one to do it. And then after you've used it, then somebody else needs to use it.
Okay.
That makes
So
sense.
like, yeah.
Wait, so
You could-
it's just that only one person can use it on the board at a time. It's not that
Right.
we can. Okay. So,
Right.
but it only forbids.
Only
one of
forbids
these
it from
cards.
the school.
Right.
Right. So if we
So-
if we
Wait,
throw
from
intrigue,
the school.
Yeah,
Or
because if you put it on
from-
the location, then it forbids it on the location. If you put it
Mhm.
on a character, then it forbids it on the character.
So yeah, that basically this
Oh,
is
but-
going to tell us what our plot is.
Yeah,
But
this will
does
tell us
it-
what our plot is. So okay, so here's what we do. Actually, this is
But
we're
wait.
in a pickle, guys.
Does it matter if the intrigue is on the girl? Does it still count
Yeah.
as being in the school?
Mhm.
So no, but the problem is that
Actually-
if she gets 2 on her and the killer is in the same position as her,
Mhm.
then he can kill her, and we don't know that he's not the killer.
So he could be the
Then,
killer.
Okay,
We
here's
can
what
move
we do.
him.
We move him sideways to the city,
hmm
and we put forbid intrigue on the location, and then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then we give like, I don't know, plus something to somebody because it doesn't matter. We have 1 free card, like we don't really need because we killed that office worker guy. Rip.
yeah.
I think that like bodies everything that they could do.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so. I mean, because forbid intrigue just doesn't do anything. Move her over means that
'Cause
there's
if she
nobody here
has
with her.
intrigue
She
on
can't
her,
move
we can-
diagonally.
Wait, is she moving?
No, she's not. Well, it doesn't matter if she moves.
It
right?
does if she moves
Oh.
up here.
If she moves, she moves here, and the maiden moves here.
I mean, I guess
Well, no,
they'll
then-
have
That
the,
doesn't
the police
matter.
officer there.
Right, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if she moves to the city or the hospital. The only thing that matters is where we send the boy. Because
If this
we
is too
send her to
intrigue,
this, if we send her to the city, and we also send, and the girl also goes to the city,
hmm
then he can still kill. Well, no, because she'd need the intrigue, right?
but this
For
could
him
be
to
the
kill her.
intrigue. This is this could be an
Yeah,
intrigue plus
okay.
2 card.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if we move him, and he's in the city, and she moves to the city, it doesn't matter because there's no intrigue on her
That's
to kill
true.
her, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Wait,
So this is the way to do this.
yeah. So we just need to find another card to play, basically.
And she can't go into the city. So even if she
Right.
moved in the city, it'd be okay. If she moves up here,
Then the police officer is right there anyway. It doesn't matter. She can't get killed by the serial killer.
right?
Let's move the doctor up and get him killed.
No,
Yeah?
because what? Why?
Why?
Because it's one less character to deal with, right?
But how do you know that she's?
She's
She
either
might be
going to
moving-
move or she's not going to move, right? If she doesn't move, she kills the doctor. If she does move, she kills the police officer.
Well, I guess that's true.
One of which who could be either like one of the other characters in the story. So one way or another, we get rid of a character that is potentially bad.
irrelevant.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not helpful to us.
Okay, that makes sense. Guaranteed kill. I
Guaranteed
like
kill
it.
on one of them. Yeah.
We have
Are
a
we on-
free card anyway. So
We're
on
on
day
day 3,
3.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to move it
So
down.
this is the suicide day.
So this is the suicide day.
Oh, by the way, whenever on day 2, whenever the incident happens, I'm supposed to say a murder was supposed to happen, but it didn't occur. So,
Okay.
Ah.
so
Fancy.
that lets you guys know that either I didn't have it set up correctly, or
Mhm.
to make it happen, or
Or we
I
successfully prevented
decided
it.
not to.
Yeah.
Oh no, he does have to murder
Because he
someone.
has to murder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
he has to?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it does.
mandatory.
It says one other person in the culprit's location
But-
dies.
Oh, but nobody had to paranoia, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Okay. So then or max paranoia. So I think, are we good? Is this foolproof?
I think
I
this
think
is
so.
good. Let's see what happens.
All right.
All right,
Logic is
Game Face.
sound.
Let's see what happens here.
All right. So I moved her horizontally,
All right.
and you
Doctor's
guys moved
back
him
home.
vertically. So here's.
Oh, that's mine.
You guys forbid intrigue, but I placed intrigue, and that's my once per loop.
Yeah, okay.
Mwahaha. So now we know what it is.
But I get mine back, right? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't have a loop thing on
Yeah.
it. Sick.
Yeah.
All right.
So it
So
is a
then he
place to
moves
protect.
horizontally, right?
Hmm.
And then Ogre gets that back, and then she moves vertically.
Okay.
All right. So she's up there in the shrine with the Shrine Maiden.
So we are doing what? A path to protect?
Hmm.
Okay.
So
A place to protect. Yeah.
Or place to protect.
so I've got to.
Wait, how did we find out we were doing a place to protect?
Most likely, unless he's trying to throw us off. He put the 2 intrigue on the location
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
instead of the girl. If it were a murder plan, having it on the girl and then putting her in the place with the killer would be the way to end it. But
Okay.
I mean,
he could definitely still be
He could
throwing us
still do
off.
that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a for sure thing.
yeah.
Okay, so now she doesn't kill anybody because the girl's up with
I don't know.
us.
He's like being awful quiet about something. Like
I'm
maybe
trying to decide if I'm going to use any abilities or not.
Oh, that's right.
So he could
Abilities.
be the police officer could be the brain, which would put intrigue. He could be
Well,
the
he could be the conspiracy theorist and put paranoia on somebody.
All right. All of a
Right.
sudden, the Shrine Maiden is feeling a little paranoid.
okay. So he
Okay, so it is the police officer that
is
is
the conspiracy theorist. Are you
Mhm.
gonna write that down? Okay, I love
Yeah.
you for writing this stuff down.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
All
that's
right.
good.
So the end of the day, and did you guys want to do? Well, obviously you can't do that ability.
Right.
So it's the end of the day and no events trigger. So we're up to the last day.
Guys,
Let's not get this Girl Scout killed.
Okay, so police officer's conspiracy theorist.
Hmm.
What is what's her name's special ability at? Why would she get paranoia?
What?
The
Shrine Maiden?
Shrine Maiden. What does she need paranoia for?
I don't know.
No reason.
There could be something we don't know. I don't know.
I don't see anything that does anything with that. I think Gabe's just messing with us. Maybe.
Wait, what if? No, she can't. She's a serial killer, so she can't be the conspiracy theorist. So she has to
Mhm.
get paranoia from somewhere, though, right?
Yeah,
Like
and
it has to be
the
from another
police
character.
officer.
Yeah, so it has to be the police officer. There's no other
Mhm.
way to get paranoia there.
Right. But I think what Deb's asking is why put paranoia on the Shrine Maiden.
And just for no reason, I guess. Just to let us know who the conspiracy theorist was.
No, I mean there's I contend that there's stuff that we don't know. I mean, she has a paranoia limit, so maybe she can kill
What's the limit?
What does the Shrine Maiden
Two.
do?
To what is her name? Shrine Maiden?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Paranoia
doesn't-
limit 2.
It doesn't tell us.
is this a new card you placed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But your intrigue +2 is only once per loop, right?
Is there other stuff characters can do when they reach their paranoia limit?
Not unless it's listed on their roll.
Okay. So I think
Oh.
that
Okay. But the serial killer doesn't have anything else for her role, and she can only have one, right? Okay.
because the serial killer, yeah, primary role.
All right, there you go.
So, okay, guys, he can still put intrigue +1 on the location,
But that doesn't matter because it needs to go to 2,
It
so
might-
we can disregard that.
It
but
might
there's
matter
still
though. Something can add intrigue, right?
the occultist.
A
So we
cultist.
have to watch
Okay.
out for.
And
Go ahead.
also the brain.
Oh, cultist and
Oh
brain.
yeah.
Oh, but there's only one or the other, guys, for a place to protect. There's only so we either have a
Oh,
brain or a
right.
cultist. And if we have a brain, then that doesn't matter because it's the lost condition of 2 intrigue in the school is only if there's a cultist. So there's only one as long as we don't get the cultist in
But
there.
wait, we know it's not the
Mhm.
police officer because he is the conspiracy theorist. And we know it's not the shrine maiden
Right.
because she's the serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
So what do?
Okay. Here's the interesting thing.
Someone intrigue.
So it doesn't, but you can, since the doctor and the schoolboy are not moving, why don't we just move the girl to,
And we know the schoolboy's not the cultist either. So it would have to be the doctor or the
Yeah.
office worker.
Mhm.
so, but the office worker can't be the cultist, right? Because he's already the other dude.
Well, we don't know that. He could have been. One of these guys could still. Oh wait.
We need a conspiracy theorist and a
Yeah.
cultist.
Everyone
or a
can only
brain.
be one thing.
Mhm.
Oh, but the boy could have been the brain. Wait, no, but if there's a brain, then the school thing doesn't matter. My
Hey.
head.
I think I might have switched these 2 cards. Can I just switch them?
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just.
I mean, it doesn't
putting
change it
them
for
over
us.
here.
Okay.
I did. I accidentally put them in the wrong place. Okay, sorry.
Okay. So what I'm saying is you can only have one role, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're the brain, you can't also be the serial killer.
Right.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's the subplot or the main plot, you can only be one
Right.
period.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
So-
that means that the doctor is the only one that we have to worry about being the cultist.
Right.
Because we know it can't be a schoolboy because we've already tested his goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mhm.
can't be conspiracy theorist police officer, which makes me giggle. It could okay, and it can't be Girl Scout because she's already the
key
key
person.
character,
Mm-hmm.
and it can't be our serial killer maiden. So it's the doctor, but he's not moving because he doesn't have a card on him, so he's not going to the school to put any intrigue on. So we don't
Mhm.
have to defend the intrigue, but we still could. Just because. What we really have to worry about is making sure that
She stays
Girl
alive.
Scout's not alone with the serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't
Diagonal?
move to the city, but
Oh,
we can't move diagonal.
wait. Why can't we move diagonal?
We don't have a move diagonal
We
card.
don't have a move
We
diagonal
don't have
card.
a move diagonal
And
card?
she doesn't have a card on her. No, the only move
Oh.
diagonal card is the one Gabe has.
Aha. Wait, that means
So-
we could just move her horizontally. We can move her
Move
over
her to
here
the hospital.
to the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Move her because the cultist can't do anything to end the game anyway.
With her. Yeah.
Right. And
move
we
her over
already
here.
know that we don't have anything for a murder to happen.
We
So
can
if
also
we
just
move her to the hospital, we win.
move her to the hospital and put forbid movement
On them?
on the shrine maiden.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
because in case.
Well, it doesn't
Oh.
matter if the shrine maiden moves over there anyway, right? Because
It doesn't,
she
but-
can't kill anyone with the doctor hanging around.
The paranoia thing just weirds me out. I don't know.
But
Yeah, no.
she can't get movement and more paranoia, and she's not at her limit.
That's true.
So if we move schoolgirl to the hospital, we win. Regardless of what we do with the other 2 moves.
I think so. But let's just move her and then forbid moving on both these guys just to be sure.
We can't. I don't know if we can do both.
Why not?
I don't think we have the cards.
We don't have
Oh, nobody else
the
has
cards.
forbid
We've already
movement?
used 2 forbid movement.
I've got 1 forbid movement. So, I mean, I can forbid her.
I-
Wait.
Oh, you already put that there.
We could forbid the intrigue here still anyway.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So forbid movement on her.
Ooh.
Yeah. Move her over.
And then as long as there's not like if there's 17 people in the hospital, then the key character dies. Is that a thing? Do we have to worry
Well,
about
you would know that. It would be listed on the possible.
I
chart.
cannot imagine playing this without being able to talk to people.
I know. Okay, so
it would be listed on the
It would be
where?
listed on your
Wait,
plots.
hospital incident if at least one Oh, those are incidents. Never mind. Plot. It would be
Right.
listed in plots. Oh, okay.
There's no incident this day, right?
No.
Nope.
Place one intrigue and okay, that one.
So it basically
that's
comes
not
down
it.
to
Okay.
how the cards turn out, and then that'll determine whether you guys win or not.
Okay.
Okay. But okay, so we make sure we've prepared for everything. So we forbid the intrigue just because. We move her over to be with the doctor.
Right.
The cultist can either go to the shrine maiden can either go to the school or the hospital, but it doesn't matter because there will be two people there regardless. The police officer can either go to the school or the hospital, but it doesn't matter again because there will be two people in the hospital regardless. If he goes to the school with the shrine maiden, fine, they'll kill each other, whatever.
Right.
Okay, I want to ask though, in the instance that either the doctor or the... Is there any way that the doctor is the killer and he's going to kill her? That's the last thing I want to make sure of.
There's no way he can because he doesn't have any
Intrigue on
intrigue,
her?
right?
Yeah,
has to
she
be
needs
on
to have
her.
intrigue, at least 2 intrigue. Key person dies.
Right.
Character
And
has 4
there's
intrigue.
no characters they can give her intrigue. Because the brain can...
But only if they're in the same room, right?
Intrigue
And that's
on
still
this.
just one. And there's only a brain or a cultist. There's not both.
Yeah. And yeah,
Okay, I think we're set.
I think we're set.
Okay. So you forbid intrigue, and I was adding intrigue. And then you forbid movement, and I was moving him horizontally.
Wait, I thought we
And-
were forbidding movement on...
I changed, but I changed it for a reason.
Okay.
That moved her vertically, and then you move her horizontally. So you just won.
Ah, that was way more stressful than I thought it was going to be. That was good.
I can't believe you like that game. I have a headache.
You did so well.
We
Yeah.
weren't even playing it how it's
So-
supposed to be played.
So here's
We
yeah.
were for beginners.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
You are
tell us
correct.
what was happening.
Okay, so here's how I completely got crippled.
Okay.
I was betting on being able to get the office worker and who is the killer
Mhm.
Oh, so it was that plan.
in the same place with the girl student, and I was gonna put a paranoia on him. Who this guy was the policeman was the conspiracy theorist,
Mhm.
hoping that you would not realize that who was the conspiracy theorist. I was trying to throw and make it seem like it was the doctor
You
or
totally
the
did, yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is, this scenario is so frustrating for the mastermind because the culprit of the murder is also the killer. So when he
Oh.
died, because he's a serial killer, I lost 2 ways in one fell swoop that I could possibly. So then my only option was to
Ah.
try somehow to get the Shrine Maiden alone with her. But the problem is I'd already used my diagonal movement, and all I have is 1 horizontal and 1 vertical. I
Yeah.
think it's impossible.
It was really big that we got you to use the diagonal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
that's
really
huge.
shouldn't have, but I didn't think about the fact that I was going to lose the office worker
Lose
at
2?
all.
I
Yeah,
see.
I was hoping I would lose like the police officer or the doctor to the serial killer. And the thing that was crazy was I never even thought about the fact that you guys would want to sometimes build up paranoia on like a killer or the serial killer, get him in the same place so you can kill off people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that like say for instance one person's a killer and one's the serial killer. I didn't even think about the fact that you could put them in the same room so they kill each other.
And it had to. She
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
to. I
Yeah.
can't believe that he's the culprit of the murder and then also the killer. This guy is
Yeah.
bloodthirsty.
Yeah, right?
It really sucks. I wish they would have made someone else the culprit because then I could have still surprised and moved someone in and
Right.
killed her. So I could at least gotten one. I probably would have only squeezed one more loop out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's pretty hard for the
I
mastermind
can,
to win.
especially when we can discuss the entire thing for like 15 minutes around.
Yeah, but it's all good. That sucks that you guys didn't get a chance to use more of the goodwill abilities. But
Mhm.
I mean, really, you didn't need to. You had everything figured out by.
I can't.
Yeah, the
I'm
prevailing
proud of us.
strategy is kill
Time to
everybody.
do So.
I'm so proud of us. We made it through one day on the first loop, and then we
Yeah.
nailed it on the
Yeah.
second loop. That's amazing.
That was
And the
good.
first loop is supposed to be booby trapped. It's
Mhm.
unless you happen to forbid the girl from moving up to the shrine.
And then it's just,
It
yeah.
seems so innocent. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
What's
love
the
that
Shrine
she's.
Maiden gonna
I
do?
knew the minute because guys, the first time I played this, that is exactly what happened to me too, and I was like, but except at that time, I was like, what the heck just happened? I had no idea what was even going on. I was like, what? Gave out to be like, okay, so you've got somebody died and it reset. So what would that be? He's like hand holding me through that sheet that is ridiculous. Yeah. Haggis McMutton says they might like letters from Whitechapel if they like this. Have we played that
Yes.
game?
That's the Jack the Ripper where you try to go.
Okay. But that's very similar to the vampire one, right?
Yeah, very good
Dracula.
Dracula. Those are we should play some more of those 1v4 games. Those are pretty fun.
Ugh.
Oh yeah,
That was
who
cool.
was the brain?
Whitechapel. Oh, so the brain was the doctor. So he was
Okay.
the guy. So the story is that he was hiring the office worker who's an assassin to
Mhm.
kill the schoolgirl because she found out some secret thing he was doing.
Oh.
What was it?
Oh, there's a story. I didn't know
That's
that.
the end.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Afterward, you're supposed to tell them what the story is. Let's see. A girl has learned a secret, and to silence her, some organization has sent out an assassin to get her. There's also a serial killer in town and a confused police officer, which makes things worse. Do you think you'll be able to...
He's so confused and he's a conspiracy theorist. That is hilarious writing right there.
Yeah.
I saw Ogre that you responded, but E Lackey asked, "Have you tried Time Stories?" We played that last week. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I really want to play more of it. It is, if you want to see the VOD, it is on youtube.com/Misscliks. Did we get that up yet?
It's coming out on Monday, scheduled.
Okay. All right. So that will be very soon on that YouTube channel. And speaking of Misscliks, guys, make sure you follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all MISSCLIKS, because we have some other really awesome shows as well. And we are all about uplifting women in the geek and gaming scene, making it a very safe and awesome and fun environment for everyone who wants to be in it. But with that, should we take a bit of a break, regroup our brains before we have our...
The full review?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. Guys, we'll be
Okay.
back in about 5 minutes. See you soon.
All right.